In the bustling city of Lagos, Nigeria, lived a young lady named Rachael. Rachael was a bright and intelligent girl, but she had always struggled to bend to society's expectations. Her mother, a headmistress in a primary school, had always dreamed of Rachael becoming a medical doctor. She believed that her daughter must grow higher than her. Rachael, however, had other plans. She was passionate about art and design, and she dreamed of becoming a fashion designer. But she knew that her mother would never approve of her choice. To avoid conflict with her mother, because she doesn't want to lose her just like she lost her dad at age 10, Rachael decided to lie. She pretended to go for lectures, she pretended to have written jam and post-automy. Few months later, Rachael heard that admission is ongoing, so she broke the news to her mom that she was admitted to study medicine and surgery in the University of Lagos. Her mother was so happy and proud of her, she told her family and all of her friends. Rachael's heart was pounding. She never knew her mother would tell everyone. What if they find out and tell her mom? She had a long thought that night before falling asleep. Her mother did all the necessary arrangements, but when it hit to accommodation, Rachael insisted that she would sort for accommodation herself and she would love to stay off campus. Her mother, pampering her as a future medical doctor, allowed her to do her thing. When it was time for resumption, Rachael insisted her mother drive her to the school gate instead of her hostel, claiming the road was bad for her mother's car. Rachael's mother agreed without hesitation. Rachael had gathered a lot of money during this process, so she registered in a reputable fashion academy. She decided to use the remaining money for practicals just in case anything happens. So, technically Rachael was attending medical school, even though she was actually in fashion school. She would spend her days learning fashion design and her evening researching on things happening in school so she can give her mother updates without being caught. Rachael's double life wasn't easy as thought. She will have to look for a way to stop her mother from coming to visit. She would be uncomfortable anytime she is in her fashion school. What if my mother's friends visit this environment? Her lies was giving her headaches. She was constantly worried that she would be caught. But, despite the challenges, Rachael continued to pursue her dream. She was determined to prove to her mother that she was capable of achieving her goals, even if it meant deceiving her. Just like a dream, the first semester was over. She was thinking of an excuse to give in her fashion assembly because she knew her mother will ask her to come home. Luckily for Rachael, her plan worked. She was given 1 week break. When she got home, her mother was happy to see Rachael. She took her to different occasions just to show off her future medical doctor. One evening, Rachael explained to her mother that she needed to go back to school after 1 week so she can properly prepare for next semester. Her mother, knowing she is distracting Rachael, allowed her to go back to school after 1 week. This was how it continued for 2 years. Rachael was happy because her 3 years fashion school is coming to an end without being caught. At least she will be established before her mother finds out. As Rachael's lies continued, the pressure on her increased. Her mother was constantly asking her about her studies, results and her professors. Rachael would make up excuses and stories just to cover her tracks. One day, Rachael's mother decided to visit her at medical school. Rachael was in panic. She knew that her mother would discover the truth. Rachael tried to come up with a plan, but she couldn't think of anything. She knew that she had to face the consequences of her actions. When Rachael's mother arrived at the medical school, she was shocked to discover that Rachael was not a student there. She called Rachael home, demanding to know why she had lied to her. Rachael apologized to her mother for deceiving her. She explained that she was afraid of disappointing her, and she had thought that lying was the only way to make her happy. Rachael's mother was heartbroken. She had always believed that Rachael would make a great doctor. She felt betrayed and disappointed. She demanded to know what Rachael was doing with her life. Rachael explained everything. She later took her to the fashion academy and introduced her as her mother. Rachael also took her mother to her hostel and brought out all the clothes she designed during her practicals. When she visited home the first time, Rachael secretly took her mother's measurements from her room and used it to practice every of her female styles. Her mother was shocked to see the crafts her daughter has made with her hands. "They are beautiful, but don't forget that I am very angry with you." That was what her mother told her. Rachael apologized again and gave the clothes to the mother. "Give it to me. After all, you used my hard-earned money I gave you to pay your school fees to do this." Rachael saw a smile creeping out from her mother's face when she said those words. Rachael wanted to hug her mother, but she insisted she needs to go home to digest everything. While seeing her mom off to her car, Rachael had mixed feelings. When Rachael's mother came home, she had a warm bath. She tried eating but couldn't. She only sat on her bed remembering her husband. Maybe he would have allowed her be a fashion designer, but what of my friends and family? Rachael's mother shook off the thoughts and slept off. The next morning she called Rachael asking her when she will graduate from the fashion school. 8 months time, Mom, that was what Rachael said. The mother became silent for some seconds, but she later broke the silence. "I support you in whatever you want to do. If fashion designing is your dream, so be it." Rachael was very happy. She started singing praises to her mother. "But you must get a degree along the line. Is that okay with you?" "Yes, Your Highness," Rachael happily answered. Despite her disappointment, Rachael's mother eventually came to terms with her daughter's decision. She realized that Rachael was passionate about fashion design, and she wanted her to be happy, not minding what her friends, family, or anyone would say. Rachael's journey to becoming a fashion designer was not easy. Even though her mother supported her with everything she needed, the skill became tougher as she draws closer to the end. Despite the challenges, Rachael kept going. She continued to work hard and to believe in herself. And at the end, her mother set up a big fashion shop for Chioma a few days before her graduation. She presented it to her on her graduation, which was a success. Chioma was so happy. She resumed her business few days after her graduation with gratitude and appreciation to her mom. Her business grew into academy, which was constantly featured in prestigious fashion shows. She was praised by critics and admired by her peers. Rachael's success softened her mother's heart. She realized that she had been wrong to force Rachael into a career path that she didn't love. She was happy her daughter lied to her instead of focusing a dream that was never hers. Rachael and her mother's relationship grew with love. They lived happily ever after, learning to communicate openly and honestly with each other. Are you currently following your dream or someone else's dream? Like and subscribe for more interesting and educating stories like this. Thank you.